What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Now, I've gotten a couple of requests to talk about kind of my thoughts on the Focus RS and why I chose this car over the competitors. So the Civic Type R, the Golf R, and then your Subaru STI, WRX, those cars as well. So I'm going to tell you guys in today's video why I chose my Focus RS and why you guys should choose a Focus RS over the competition. Now, I've put 10,000 miles on this car, so I think my opinion's pretty valid, pretty justifiable, and I absolutely love the Focus RS, and I haven't taken it out in almost 5 days. So I'm really itching to take it out. I got the Subaru, as you guys saw in the last video, so I've kind of been neglecting the RS just a little bit. So I'm gonna take her out and have an awesome time and just have some fun. So stay tuned. I'm gonna go over my reasons why I think you should pick a Focus RS over the competitors. So let's start off with probably my favorite thing about this car, and it's the fact that it's the most powerful from the factory. Now, 350 foot-pounds of torque and 350 horsepower is quite a bit, and out of all your competitors, it is the most amount of power. So a lot of people say, you know, it's not all about power, it's not all about how fast your car is, but this car is an absolute torque monster. Now, up top, it's not as fast as, say, like the Civic Type R. I know the Golf R is a bolt-on monster, but the Golf R is not that good looking. I think the Golf R is probably the worst looking out of the bunch. I think if you're like a middle-aged dad that doesn't know what he wants, but wants something fast, but doesn't want to look like a total, with all other three of the cars that are in this category, being the STI, the Golf R, and the Civic Type R, they're all under 300 horsepower. So all this is at 350. And now, while you can get more power out of the Golf R, I still think this is the better option out of the box, because a lot of people don't end up modding these cars. They want to keep them stock just because from the factory, they're already such good cars. Now, if you plan on modding it, obviously the Golf R is going to be the better option, I think, out of all four, or the Honda, because Hondas have crazy good reliability, but oh, I almost hit a squirrel. But the Golf R is gonna be your bolt-on monster. Now, if you get that in a DSG, it's an automatic, so it's hard to kind of put that in the same category because all other cars are manuals. The manual in the Golf R, if you guys have seen in the reviews, it is not a good gearbox. It's sloppy, it's hard to find what gear you wanna go into. So everybody opts for the DSG, which is like an $1,100 option, but it's what everybody goes with. So if you want something that's gonna be a bolt-on monster, very, very fast and easy to make power out of, go with the Volkswagen, get the Golf R. If you want a car that's gonna catch people's attentions, look absolutely monstrous going down the road, and be killer on the track and off the track, you gotta go with the Focus RS. Now let's talk about the STI. The STI is been around for such a long time. The EJ257 that comes in it is a very, very old motor, and it's just kind of outdated. They've kept it at, I think the new one, they put 310 horsepower in instead of 305, but still, in today's day and age, Subaru is gonna have to do something to compete with the hot hatches. Now, I know it's very sad to me, but Ford is no longer producing any of their actual cars, so like the Fusion, the Focus, the Fiesta, all of those are discontinued. So 2019 was the last year they made the Fiesta ST, 2018 was the last year that they made the Focus RS. So everybody keeps asking me, I know in the last video I talked about getting rid of the RS and possibly thinking about getting something else. I've had a couple people hit me up and ask what I'm asking for the RS, but I'm never gonna sell this car, guys. I think this is a car that is always gonna have some special place in my heart, and I just don't think I could ever come to grips with getting rid of it. Now, I think I could upgrade and buy something else on top of this car, but if you ask me, hey, what would you sell the RS for? Absolutely nothing. It's one of the easiest cars to drive. It's super fast, super powerful, handles extremely well, and this car just sings to me, you know? Like, I'm sure there's cars out there that you guys love and that just kind of, you know, have that special place in your heart. That's what the Focus RS does for me. I don't know what Ford was doing by getting rid of the RS and discontinuing it, but I get the tariffs from overseas and all that stuff. I get why they discontinued them, but they're keeping the Mustang around. And while the Mustangs are cool and very well-selling cars, they just, you see them everywhere. Just like the STI. The STI is absolutely everywhere. I've driven 5 miles from my house and I've already seen 3 or 4 STIs and WRXs. It's like, they're too common of a car, they're too everywhere. So that's kind of why I chose the RS, is you see a few of them, especially living in Colorado, that they're all-wheel drive. A lot of people opt for them. It's a car you don't see very often. I think the rarest out of the bunch is probably the Civic Type R. That's the car that I've seen the least out of them all. I know a lot of you guys aren't gonna like it. I don't like the way the Civic Type R looks. Oh, speaking of, there's an STI. I think the front end on the Type R is beautiful. It is incredible looking. It's mean, it's aggressive, but then you get to the rear end and it just looks a little funky. It's not the best looking car. Now, we did race one a couple weeks back. That one was incredibly fast. I think top end of the Type R is gonna be much faster than the Focus RS. Like, to buy a car, you have to love the way it looks. But it's so funny, I've been driving my Subaru for so long, and getting back in this, I'm like, oh my gosh, I miss my race car. Going back to the DMV for the second time today to try and get temp tags for the Legacy, because as you guys saw in the last video, I did buy another Legacy GT, and I don't have the title in my possession yet, so it's a big headache trying to get the 30-day temp tag or 60-day, whatever they're gonna issue me. So now I'm going back for the second time today, so that's that. Another thing I wanted to talk about the Focus RS, what car from the factory comes with launch control? Like, I've launched this car probably 20, maybe 30 times, never had a single issue with it. It does it every single time on command, and it absolutely rips your face off. I know on the STI through the access port, if you want to spend 650 bucks, you can set up launch control through that. It doesn't come with launch control from the factory like this does. In the Focus RS, you can literally pull on people in any gear you want to. I know you guys can't see the cars next to me. I'm in third gear, like 3,000 RPM. Put my foot down a little bit, and she just goes. She's just incredibly fast. Super torquey. That's my favorite thing about the RS, is how torquey it was. Now, I know a couple of you guys out there have been telling me, hey, get a custom tune, and that is coming soon. I'm contacting a few different people right now, getting quotes on what it would cost for a dyno tune versus an e-tune. I want to hear your guys' recommendations. Who did you go through? Who did you get a tune from? And did you get an e-tune like through your access port, or did you go and get an actual dyno tune? I really want to know who you guys went through and what kind of power numbers you guys are putting down with what mods. So if you have an RS with similar mods or any mods at all, tell me what kind of power numbers you're putting down and who you got tuned by. All right, so I just put my foot down, and a couple of people have asked how the Subaru compares to the RS in power. And I'm pretty sure my Legacy GT is faster than this. Kind of makes me a little sad, but this car, it's like, I told my buddy the other day, I compared this to like a small sharp razor blade, and I feel like the Legacy GT, it doesn't handle very well. It's got power all the way up top, but it doesn't have much mid-range or bottom end. Just put my foot down and it feels fast, but I think the Legacy feels a little bit faster. So if we want to talk about tunability, I think the easiest cars to tune are definitely going to be the Civic Type R, although many people haven't done crazy things to those yet. Or as I stated previously, the Golf R. The Golf R, I've seen people with like an APR stage 2, stage 3, pushing like over 400 wheel horsepower, which is just nuts out of a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged motor. So it's kind of up to you guys. I feel like it really comes down to what you're going to use the car for. For me, I love track days. That's literally my favorite thing to do in the summertime. Once a month, we take it out, we do time attacks. So that's kind of why I bought this car, to have fun at the track, have a good, nice car that's fun on the weekends, fun to drive around town, take to the gym, take to the grocery store. And I also am just so in love with the way this car looks. It is breathtaking to me. And none of the other cars do it. The Golf R is the ugliest to me. It just kind of looks like a little bean going down the road. The Type R is a little too, I don't want to say racer-ish for me, but it just kind of looks like a toy, in my opinion. And then the STI, they're good looking, but still nothing will compare to like say an 06 or an 07 Hawkeye STI, because those are my personal favorite, and I would love to have one of those someday. But the new generations, they don't do it for me. And like I said, you see them everywhere. And when it's a $30,000, $40,000 car, although it's not that expensive, it's no Ferrari, it's no Lambo, you still want your car to stand out and look good amongst others. But with STIs, there's too many of them, and it's too hard to differentiate yourself from every other guy with an STI. So that's kind of why I chose the Focus RS. This one in particular, there's only 600 of them that will ever be made. It's a very rare car, and I can only see the value either staying the exact same on this or appreciating. So I guess we'll just have to see. Only time will tell to see if this car actually appreciates in value. I only made them for a couple of years, so I think the value is gonna go up on them. Plus, I don't know if you guys ever go on Car Gurus like I do, but I went on there to see if there's any race red RSs left that are brand new, and there might be some that you guys know of. But if you go on Car Gurus, cars.com, anywhere like that, I saw one brand new Focus RS in race red that was left. So literally every single one of them has been bought up. There's a couple used ones on the market. I think there's like 6 or 7 of them. There's no brand new ones. So it's one of those cars that, like, unless you bought it, you're kind of out of luck. So if you guys are lucky enough to find a race red or one of the 18s that are in the beautiful nitrous blue, not my favorite color, but it is a really pretty color. Scoop them up if they're brand new and they're not marked up, because I think it's a car that's only gonna appreciate in the future. STIs are a dime a dozen. Golf Rs you don't really recognize when they're on the road. Like, you really have to know what you're looking for in order to be like, oh, that's a Golf R, because GTIs and Golf Rs look so similar. When you see a Civic Type R, you definitely know it's a Type R, but they just, I don't know, they just don't do it for me. And it's front wheel drive, and if you're a Honda fanboy, you love front wheel drive. But for me, I've always been in all wheel drive cars. I had a Fiesta ST before the Focus RS, and it just never did it for me. I just didn't like the way it drived. It was fun, it was a little go-kart, but it just didn't do it for me. So that's why I love my Focus RS. I think it's really fast. It comes with drift mode. It is an absolute monster. I mean, monster of a car on the track. If you guys haven't, I keep telling you guys, if you haven't taken your car to a track day at Time Attack, you've got to do it, because it's so much fun. I know this video is going to cause some controversy, but I want to hear down in the comments below. I know a lot of you guys either drive an RS, an ST, Fiestas, stuff like that. But out of all 4 hot hatches, what do you think is the best option, and what would you take? A couple people have thrown the RS3 in that hot hatch group, but it's a sedan, and it's also like starts out at about 55 or 60 grand, which to me is incredibly expensive for a car. Now, it is the fastest car out of the bunch, but if you guys think the RS3 is the best hot hatch, even though it's not really a hot hatch, then let me know, because I'm very curious. And that is a car that if I kept the Focus RS, I would definitely consider having a RS3, because they are absolute monsters. Super fun to drive. Mash it. I just made it here to the DMV. I'm gonna run in if I can get some tags for the Legacy GT, because I really shouldn't be driving it without them, and I don't want to get pulled over. It's really loud. It's basically straight piped and super duper loud. So I'm gonna do some videos on the Legacy GT. I'm gonna do a test drive and review on it, just to kind of keep you guys in the loop and to see what you guys think of it, because it's got a lot of awesome parts on it. It's really fast and a ton of fun to drive. So I hope you guys are excited for Legacy GT content. Obviously the RS content is the base of my channel, and that'll never go away, but I'm really excited to pump out some stuff on the Legacy GT. We might be getting that retuned for free through the guy that owned the car previously. He contacted his tuner, and he's down to do a redo on the map, or kind of check everything over and make sure things are running smoothly. There's a lot of things on the Legacy GT I need to fix and replace, and I'm selling the silver one. So the silver one will probably be gone in the next few weeks. So I'll do an update video as soon as that is sold, and then we can kind of use some of that money to dump into this and the other Legacy GT. So stay tuned, a lot of exciting things coming for the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I just wanted to give you guys a brief comparison of my opinion on the other hot hatches. I love Subarus, like I said, I own one, but I think for the money, 30, 35 grand, it's not worth it. So the Focus RS, like I told you guys, it's staying on the channel. It's not going anywhere. A lot of people are like, no, don't sell it, or are you selling it? No. car is staying here on the channel. It's not going anywhere. So stay tuned for all the content. I'm thinking about getting an exhaust for it so it's nice and loud. Plus I'm gonna get a custom tune. So those 2 videos should be coming in the near future. Let me know what you guys wanna see. Let me know what you thought of the video. Like the video, and I will catch you guys next time.